All right, new vehicle, same problem. So the new car we got is a 2011 Honda Odyssey, and it also has a blend door actuator problem on the driver's side. And this is the actuator taken apart, so you can see the, let's see, let's turn it this way. You can see the lever there that actually moves the door inside. This looks like the factory part, probably original, so it's 13 years old. Denso is Honda's factory supplier. You can see, so that gear moves, and it moves this arm. It's got stops, so it can only go so far. It can go from there, well, there, all the way there. I don't think it travels that full range of motion when in use. And then it has these little prongs that communicate, I think, to the motor in the computer where it is indexed, where it's located. I don't exactly know how it does that. It must travel the range. So those prongs index against these black strips, which I assume are metallic, on the gear. I assume they run all the way to the end, and they can sense probably when they hit the end, and then they go back, and you can see this dead spot right here where they've actually worn a groove in that metallic surface. And I'm assuming that's why this thing, it has a stutter. It kind of stops right there in the middle and it doesn't keep going. I think it sort of loses where it's at and it won't keep going. Now over time, if you just keep the car on and you're driving for a long time, it will eventually index all the way. At least with air conditioning, it'll eventually move past that point. But it does get stuck for quite a while. So I cleaned all that off, had a ton of grease on it, and the contacts actually had a ton of plastic on them where it had worn down through that surface area. Or maybe even, maybe not plastic, they may have had metal, and the metal may be bridging across that contact or something. So not exactly sure how that works. I'd have to think and trace where that actually goes. It's clearly a circuit. It goes around, it dead ends there, and it goes back around. I mean, it's one big circuit. Yeah, so if you go to the end, all the way on this side, if it was over there, one contact would go free of continuity, and this would stay in contact, whereas over here, they both would go. So I assume that's how it knows when it's traveled the full distance. And then it just knows that that's, 0.0 and that's 0.1, and it goes in between them to index where it's supposed to be. So anyways, I'm just going to try putting it back together the way it is and see if this did anything. And maybe we saved ourselves some money. The factory part for this is like $130, and the knockoffs on Amazon are $25 or $30. It's super easy to get to. It's right under the driver's side floorboard. So we'll put it back together. In the process of taking it apart, some of these tabs, they break really easy. I don't know. There's an arrow on here. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try to put it back where it's kind of stuck, where those contacts were wearing. Let's see. So that would be, let's see. So right. Okay, that goes in there. The white piece there is going to go inside of that hole there. So I'm trying to get those strips where it's worn to go back about where they were when it was stuck. So that would be right there, I think. Probably close enough, I guess. So you can see it just snaps back together with these little press clips, but they break really easy. I think I broke. That one's good. That one broke. Which, once it's screwed to the surface, it'll screw like that and it'll kind of hold itself together. So I'm not too worried about that. So we'll throw it back in there. It just has 3 screws and this plug, and it's super easy to put in. So we'll throw it back in and see what happens.